catastrophe in California. A Los Angeles disaster movie roars to life.
Whoa! This was like an 80-mile-an-hour blowtorch.
I came out and I saw a fireball.
Do you know what you're gonna do now?
How do I get to my house?
Tonight, homes in ashes.
Oh, God, it's gone.
I hadn't cried until I got here.
Lives in chaos.
My parents tried to get me out of here, but I couldn't leave.
I can't go, bro. 51 years, man, I've been in this house.
Heroes in action.
You haven't slept?
Not really. You got control on one, and then the winds pick up.
The flames are still burning, and questions are burning too.
Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor? Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be.
What lies ahead?
How do you come back from something like this?
They come back one day at a time.
LA's landscape changed forever. Its strength still stands.
We are resilient.
And, you know, some people may have some flashbacks to Beachy Creek looking at this stuff. I mean, right afterwards when they opened Highway 22 up where you could go drive through Santiam Canyon again, it was a lot of the same.
Similar topography.
Sunrise coming through. So where we were at was kind of on the very northwest edge of the fire. And this is back towards the middle. There was still a pretty good plume coming over the next, I don't know, mountain range over. Pretty good smoke plume. So kind of Star Warsy with the, you know, the red sun rising. But that's what it looks like. We think it's cool every time we see it, but we're, you know. And again, just some, I think this was at Topanga and Pacific Coast Highway. Again, just another, you know, it had burnt over all of these ridges all the way up to Pacific Coast Highway here and then blew across and ended up burning.
So this is, that's side. Was it the one? Is that right?
Yeah.
Highway 1.
Highway 1, yeah.
PCH.
Yep.
No, it's called.
And this is the intersection of Topanga Canyon Road and Highway 1.
Then along Pacific Coast Highway again.
Wow. Are those houses up there destroyed? Is that what that is?
Some of them. Yeah. So there's Parker. He had a long day
rough shift, long
That's
shift.
after a 24-hour shift.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Everybody would be like that.
And then just some more video of, you know, the quote-unquote carnage. And we drove through this every day. Mm-hmm. So, like the first couple of days, it was pretty shocking. And unfortunately, we just kind of got used to it after a few days driving through it. But, I mean, every one of these, I think we even looked up on Zillow, one place it looked like it had a for sale sign on it at some point. I'm sure it's in the Pacific Ocean somewhere now because of the wind. But it was like a 1,200 square foot house that was selling for $4.2 million right on the beach.
And it's gone.
So if you could imagine that, and these homes are quite a bit bigger, some of them. There's
the crew.
Yeah.
Yep.
On our way to work. So there's our breakfast.
Yep.
That we got handed out. Headed out for the day, and yeah, there's just some more. I mean, we see burned houses more often than the normal person should, and this was just so extensive to see. And you know, you can tell stories all day long, but then when you have something physical to look at to corroborate your story, it really sets the point. So this is Saddle Peak and Tuna Canyon Road. And Tuna Canyon, we're probably 4 miles inland from the coast here, and this road winds all the way down and back. And then, like I said, it was like 3 miles of Danger Hill all the way down to the PCH down there. Got Ian doing some repairs. He was getting a little antsy, not being able to fix anything.
A power tool in my hand. Saw a sign and
put a road sign back up. And then here was another just another view. So this all is LA back here. The Santa Monica Pier is right here.
Did the fires get there to Santa Monica, like the pier?
Pretty close.
Pretty close,
Pretty
but no,
close?
it didn't.
About a half mile, half mile away from there.
Huh.
And it was, most everything else was kind of up to the north, wrapping around this way, around the city. So, and then this was cool. So I say that, but there's a story to go
Right.
So this place at the top of the hill was a helipad, and they had a system of water tanks that were gravity fed from another bigger tank back uphill. And these are the orange tanks up here. That's what the helicopters were dipping out of. And so they had 4 of them. And when they come and dip, they dip in tank 1 first, and then tank 2, and then tank 3, then tank 4.
So the other ones have a chance to fill back up? Yeah.
Right. So that was pretty cool. We got to see
that
3 or 4
process,
different helicopters fly over, and then we had air-to-ground channels on our radios so we could hear the helicopters talking back and forth to each other and back to the helipad about which tank to dip in next.
Oh, that's cool. So you could okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Why didn't they use ocean water? No reason.
Who knows?
Okay.
That's above our,
That's your-
above
our chain. So another picture of Santa Monica Pier. So one thing about the helicopters too was, there was a ton of them, but there was one female pilot, and man, she went to dip one time, and right when the wind gusted up, and it just barely rocked a little bit, and she was able to maneuver with that headwind and dip the bucket in there like no problem. So that was kind of cool. I have 2 daughters. I know you have at least one. So it's kind of cool. Most everybody there's male doing all this work. We had 3 women in our, task force, and they all, it's put up or shut up time. And one of them, I think, outworked even us from Mount Angel. She works for Department of Forestry during the summer, and so on occasion we would even look over at her and be like, are we doing this right? She's like, I'm not the boss. We're like, well, you're better at this stuff than we are, so if we're doing something wrong, let us know.
Ooh, that is an awesome photo.
This is a cool picture right here.
That's probably going to be the cover photo right there.
This is super grainy on the TV, but that was a really nice
so these were the packs that were the fire shelters right here, our web gear.
Oh, yeah.
You got your fire pack here, and then just a pouch with whatever you need in there, and then some water.
Bottled water, and then all of our snacks and hand cleaning wipes.
Yes.
and then our fire shelters. Yeah.
So these just kind of some of the tools. If you'd go back to that, some of the different hand tools we had. Each of us kind of had a different tool. Yeah, the McLeod shovel. Like Andrew had a shovel also, and then a Pulaski.
Yeah, that's an amazing picture. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a really neat picture.
Then here's the fleet. So this is in the parking lot next to the parking garage of the building
Santa Monica
that we were at in Santa Monica. Yeah. So this is just our 5 trucks. There was another 60 or 70 parked in the same parking area. So. And then one
this
of
is
the
with the caterers.
Yep. Caterers taking a picture of you guys.
Yeah.
Picture of a picture.
And then just another picture. So these are the exterior walls of each building.
So 2 separate
so from
houses.
a fire science perspective of this, that's pretty close. If one house is burning, to keep the other one next door from burning. So add 80-mile-an-hour winds and fire to that. Building codes are different everywhere, I guess. So, but that's
handicap sticker and he was walking.
it's hearsay, but maybe if there was a little more space between buildings there, maybe not as many structures would have been lost. But we weren't there.
Who knows?
We weren't there. We didn't witness the fire behavior and the weather, so maybe that wouldn't have even made any difference at all.
So there's some houses that made it in a whole, you don't know how.
Fire likes to leapfrog
Yeah.
over structures also.
Let's see. So this picture, this house was totally fine.
Yep, that one.
And there's another one up here in the corner that was totally fine.
And that one
And
got
this
it.
one and the one in front of it burned.
So interesting how that works.
It
Yeah.
is. The fire behavior is very, very
There were-
interesting there.
I think just uphill from this, there was even a house that was like bare wood, like cedar siding.
Uh-huh.
Totally fine.
Huh.
Yard was still green, just built their house in the right spot for this particular
Yeah, I got
fire,
lucky,
and
huh?
wasn't a problem for them, so. So that's our
416.
engine. We were downhill here looking at, the house had burned down, but the garage was still standing. So of course, nothing we could do for the house at that point, but we can make sure that nothing
No hot
left
spots,
there
no
is hot
smoke.
to burn the garage down later.
Who took that photo? They had to do some hiking to look like
This was our task force leader, took a picture of it. So there's another road uphill from that they were on. Another picture of. So this is these are the 5 trucks that we went, Almsville, Mount Angel, us, Kaiser, and Marion County engines. So four crew members for each truck, plus task force leader and an assistant task force leader. So everything, like the task force leader positions, you have to be an assistant on a fire for however many fires before you can become a task force leader on your own.
Okay.
So it's part of that training, being there in the experience.
On the job training.
Yeah.
So we have Almsville. What would you say? Oh, Mount Angel.
Mount Angel,
Us, or you guys.
Yep. Yeah.
Kaiser, and then what's the last one?
Marion County.
Marion County. Okay.
Yep. All good guys. Initially there's, everybody from every different department gets together to go do the same thing, and so
Little bit
there's a
butting
little bit of
head.
sizing each other up
Yeah.
for the first couple of days, but then after that, we were all together, all doing the same stuff together, and that really helped, I think, build the camaraderie between crews and between agencies.
So
It seems like there might be some bad juju between, 3 of us were volunteer agencies, and then Kaiser and Marion County are full-time paid agencies, but we're all trained the same, we're all doing the same work, and eventually that all dissipates, and by the time we're over, we have phone numbers for almost everybody on every crew, and it's good. Another picture, this is, I think we were on Tuna Canyon
Yep.
in Las Flores.
Yes, looking out into
In that
LA.
intersection, and this is LA. Like, it was pretty, this picture doesn't do it justice.
it was
but
beautiful.
It's like daylight
Yeah.
over the city in that area because of the
All the
lights
lights.
from there. It was pretty cool. Oh, we'll skip that one. So here we were at Malibu staging, waiting for our task force leader to get our orders for the day to come meet with us, tell us what we're doing before we all head out.
Pepper dime.
We had to get 25 lunches and breakfasts every day, and so we had these giant boxes. So across the parking lot from us there, that was pretty cool too. So at every camp there was a recycle bin, like recycle dumpster, garbage dumpster, and I forget what the other one. But it was like even in camp everything was separated.
nice.
Environmental watch-outs there. Yeah, so this is Pepperdine University back here. That's their green lawn. So this actually dips down the hill back
I think
behind
this was
us,
in
and
the
there's
black.
another road. Yeah. Yeah, they had carved all this out to make fire truck parking lot. Ian eating some jerky. So I took this picture because that's my cousin's name.
Oh, okay.
So I had to send him that. Hey, do you know you have a overlook in Topanga, California? He was like, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Dedicated to you. M, like middle name M also?
Initial.
Initial?
This is his initial.
No,
yeah.
that's crazy.
And then this was the picture I was showing you earlier. So all these maple leaves are all pointed in the same direction and dried out because of the wind. You know, these were green trees to begin with, and the fire blew through there.
Just baked them.
And the wind was blowing so hard that it, was pointing the leaves that direction, and then basically just baked them in place. There was zero wind when I took that picture. So, and our manifest, and there's the minivan picture on the ride home.
And this is us pulling into the station in the minivan.
What time do you guys pull in?
About 7:15
Okay.
at night. So I think everybody else got home around 4.
Yeah.
And we made up some time on the highway in the minivan.
Yeah.
So you can go
We didn't have to,
quicker in the minivan.
we didn't have to stop every
truck.
2 hours to get fuel. So.
Right, yeah.
There's
the crew.
Here's the coming home picture. Yeah. Glad to be back. It was a little cold when we got back.
Yes.
Yeah, it's cold.
We got real used to 70 degrees and 55 at night. And so coming home to, I think it was 36 degrees when we got out of the van.
It was a shock. It was a shock.
Yeah. So.
Very good.
Yeah, and then
It's
there's
kind of the beginning, middle, and end.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very good.
Happy to help. California does the same for us. When we have a big event here, they send crews and rigs, and so just kind of all part of that being a good neighbor thing. We do it within our state. When we have big fires, obviously we go to California and help them out, but they do the same for us too. So last year I think was pretty quiet year for California.
It's been a couple
they have their
years.
big fires too, but they sent crews up here for the couple of the big fires that we had in Central Oregon. So